Good morning, guys. My name is Dr. Rob Kelly, the Addiction Doctor. This is Recovery Channel podcast, along with my regular co-host, Jennifer Lovely. Good morning, Jennifer. How are we?
I'm doing well. It's a busy day today. So I'm feeling very, a little pensive, actually. Just a lot of, to do.
Yeah.
Trying to step back into who I am, my being, love. So that's it. That's what I got going on. What about you?
I got two things to say to you. First of all, I love you from the bottom of my heart. And secondly, you are absolutely amazing person. Not only for the stuff that we do together, which I've never done anything together with anybody. I'm such a loner, lone wolf. But the stuff we do is so good.
I know it is.
Honored to be partnership with you, because I think we're going to do some amazing things together. And you're just such an amazing person. So thank you for being you, first of all.
Thank you for saying that and acknowledging me. And I feel like I won the lottery when I enrolled you in partnering with me, by the way, and never meeting me. I feel like I won the lottery just to be with you. So thank you for that.
Well, I better warn you, first of all, I'm only 3'4". I'm actually sat on 5 pillows right now. I'm joking. I'm not 3'4". I'm 4'3". So, hey, listen, today's guest. Oh my God, guys, today's guest. Let me tell you about this guy. First of all, I've known him, our girl, our podcast girl. I'll give it a shout out about 3 months ago. You got to get this guy, Michael Weitzman, on the show. You've got to get this guy on, because I saw some sketches and they were hilarious. So I love people a bit like me who make fun, have a laugh, educate, and there's a serious side. And before you know what day it is, your laughter's turned into education that really sits in the subconscious brain going, oh, okay, so this is funny, but there's a hardcore message there. And sometimes when people come on and they want to give the message, and it's strong and it's amazing, it's powerful, it's a good job. But when someone can add humor to it, you kind of attract the people you won't normally attract on a mental injury, a podcast or talk. And I like that. I like the way he draws them in with humor and then bangs it. It's like a boom, boom of Mike Tyson. It's like gives you the right, which is like comedy, and he pounds you with the left, which is the mental illness stuff that he talks about. So really looking forward to this. It's going to be an amazing one.
Me too. I am already just talking to him. I can tell he's going to be funny, and I especially love his little mask. I hope he wears it when he comes on. I've
got to be scrolling that. Yeah. Check this mask out, guys. Again, we're talking about coronavirus. We're talking about keeping yourself safe. Okay, everyone's wearing a mask. Wait till you see Michael's mask. It says it all. In fact, if it was just a picture we could show for Michael to tell everything that he is, it'd be that photograph, Jen, wouldn't it, with the mask on and stuff? I'm not going to give it away, but you'll see, guys.
Yes.
Listen, guys, hang around because Michael Weitzman's on the show. Just give me 15 seconds and we'll be back with you. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is the Recovery Channel podcast. My name is Dr. Rob Kelly. This is Jennifer Lovely, and this is Michael Weitzman. He's absolutely an amazing guy. Check the mask out. What did I tell you? Check the mask out.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Awesome, absolutely. How are you, Michael?
Doing good. If I get the hearing aid back in.
Say again.
Yeah.
I'm just joking, man. I'm joking. Say again.
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show today. So let's dive right in. Tell me 5 memorable moments that had changed your life. It could be good or bad.
Well, the bad moment that started with me really started when I was 5. I stuttered and I had a lisp. And that really affected me a little traumatic, even at the age of 5. But then the big traumatic for me was then when I was 16 years old, and I failed my road test 5 times. Failed my road test 3 times. Failed it 3 times. Traumatic as it could be, because everybody, my friends, they passed. They passed their road test the first time. Maybe someone failed it once. I failed it 3 times, and it was demoralizing, and that started my depression. That started the mental health challenges that I had to go through with that. So that was the negative at that point. But the best thing was I got into the mortgage industry in 1987, and that was really amazing. I was an unbelievable rep. I still am now, and I came up with my own concept. But the key was I was doing unbelievably well in the mortgage industry. But the depression, I call it, I was suffering in silence. So it didn't really come out, because how can you have depression when you're making tons of money, right?
Right.
Right. It has nothing to do with money, but unfortunately that became my antidepressant, because I never came out of the mental health closet yet. That took 25 years to get out of the closet. So the best thing that happened to me, you guys, is really when I suffered for 40 years and suffered in silence for a very, very long time with my mental illness. I came out of the closet in 1999, and when I mean the mental health closet, medicine, psychiatrist, and meth, and a social worker. So those were I call that the triangle. So but it didn't get me to the promised land. It didn't get me. What was it that was going to get me to get well? But I tell people, we don't want to just get well. We want to stay mentally well. Because I always got well, but then I got sick again. Then I got well, and then I got sick again. And I never found the right combination of psychiatrists, meds, or in this case, a therapist. Finally, while I was in my last and 6th hospitalization on October 16th, 2014, and I basically 29th, 2014, and I basically came up with a workshop called The Three Amigos of Mental Health. While I was in a psychiatric hospital, that's what came up. Kind of like in the movie Patch Adams, where he got his name from patching a cup. I came up with, you know what? If I can just get and stay mentally well, then I could be a spokesman, and I could be a person out there, an advocate and a speaker and performer and even comedian, to help people with their mental health and mental health challenges in so many different ways. So all I had to do is stay mentally well. And I haven't done that for 40 years until I got out of the hospital, and I haven't looked back. That is when you said one of these moments, that is an aha moment that is in my life. I have 3 other aha moments, but those are different. But this was really what really did it. So it was really the humor that I use out of my wellness toolbox. It's just, people don't understand. You got to try so many other types of wellness tools. You do the medicine if that's going to help. You do the psychiatry, that's fine. You do the therapist. You go to a support group. You get support. Thank God I had my parents as support. They were amazing. If I didn't have my parents, I wouldn't be here today. They were my big support. But these are just some of the things. So what were those things when you said that really got me an aha? It was really getting to do the wellness tools, like meditation, doing deep breathing exercises, doing affirmations, doing creed, putting a creed together, prayer, God, Bible, Jesus, acupuncture, walks around, exercise, reading books, like watching movies like Patch Adams, inspirational, self-improvement tapes, self-improvement movies, good hunting, a Silver Lining Playbook. These are the things that got me to not get well, but it got me to stay mentally well. Knock on wood, it's been now over 6 years. Finally, at the age of almost 62, I have been mentally well for over 6 years. And
that's the key, I think, Michael. That's the key. You just said it. It's not about getting well or being sober or being clean. It's about staying well, staying clean, staying sober. And people come to us and go, well, you know, I just relapsed and that's it. Why? What are you doing wrong? Why you have to relapse or get back into the psych ward? This is not an affliction. This is a superpower once you get on top of this. And there's no one fix all for everybody. The programs are different. The way, grab everything, do the meditation, like you said, do the psychiatry, do the pill, whatever it takes to get you to a place. Because for me, it's not about getting to a place and thinking, oh my God, I don't have to go down that route again. It's about what can I do for other people now? So let me ask you a question, Michael. Depression, bipolar, mental illness or mental injury, does that go back in your family?
Not at all. Nope. There's nothing in my family regarding mental illness whatsoever and mental health challenges. Nope. Not at all. Nope. For me, it was a traumatic thing when I was young, and then I wasn't good with tests. I wasn't good with road tests, and I wasn't good with tests in school. Oh my God, I got so much anxiety and stress just for tests. So that was really the big moment. And then the biggest moment really in my life was on January, another moment when you said bad or good, this was bad, is that on January 2nd, 2008, I tried to take my life. And but unfortunately, I don't know if you've ever watched the show, which Seinfeld. I don't know if the Seinfeld was big. If you've ever heard Seinfeld and George Costanza, if you're going to take your life, you don't do it the way I did it. I did it in the parking lot at the Crisis Center. So, and I'm not doing this as for humor. I'm just saying I was looking for help so much. So that was the day that I took my life. I didn't work, of course. I got committed to a hospital, and then that was the last time I would ever see my wife. And then we divorced, and then we went through that road. But the most important thing is, it was probably the worst thing that ever happened to me, but it was possibly the best thing that ever happened to me, because now I was not part of this verbal abusive wife, unsupportive wife. She was the one I call, when I say the three amigos of mental health, you need to know what the three amigos of mental health is. Either you're suffering with a mental health condition, or you're suffering in silence with a mental health condition, or you're not suffering at all. I've been all three. My ex did not suffer, or she said she didn't suffer with a mental health condition. And those are so many people out there that don't get it. They don't get it because they never had a mental illness. And my job is to show them and give them that taste, what it feels like, what it tastes like to have health challenges or mental health injury, which I'm going to use as well. I love that. So, so these are the things that I did. And the other reason I got into the mental health field after I got out of my hospitalization in 2014, in October 29th, because on August 11th, 2014, suicide took Robin Williams' life. I am the biggest Robin Williams fan. I love all his movies, his improv. He's the best. And when he took his life, or suicide, I say, took his life, I was really, really sick, very depressed. And I said to myself while I was in that hospital, all I want to do is get mentally well, use wellness tools, but most importantly, use humor. Have fun with your mental health. Don't make fun. Have fun. Make it cool. Make it fun. Make it enjoyable. Make it humorous to talk and work on your mental health and your mental health challenges. And that's why humor, laughter and smiles, is my biggest wellness tool. And they say laughter is your best. And that's what I've been doing for a long time. I don't know if you can see it. I came up with bipolamin gum. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I have bipolamin gum. So now you too can have the taste and the feel of having bipolar. But don't worry, each stick comes with free hospitalization, ECT treatment, and permission to run naked in your local shopping mall. I've done that 3 times. So chew up, ladies and gentlemen. And I got schizophrenia gum coming. Again, what's the point? It's about having fun with your mental. Don't make fun. Even if people have an addiction or people have a disability or a chronic illness, you can still have fun without making fun. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to normalize that even if you have a mental health challenge or an addiction or whatever's going on with you, you're just as equal to anyone else out there. And we need this equality through diversity. And that's some of the things I do with my my presentation and my webinars and my seminars.
I love that so much. You know, so much of people's fear is that they're going to be stigmatized. As a matter of fact, I remember when my kids were they're both recovering heroin addicts, and we were first in our rehab, and their dad sat in the rooms we were all in, and he said, well, his mom has bipolar disorder. And I was like, what? Like, I've never been diagnosed.
What?
And so I remember going and paying big dollar to a psychiatrist and asking him, do I have bipolar? Is there something wrong with me? Please tell me. Please tell me. I want to know, because I was so afraid if it was me, that I passed on some genetic gene to my children. And the psychiatrist was like, no, honey, you have trauma. You have been traumatized. So thus began me exploring more of my, trauma. So talk to me. Did you have any trauma in your life at all that allowed the brain to go down this road of bipolar, or did this just happen on its own?
Failed road test 3 times at the age of 16, in the mortgage industry. And then in 2007, 2008, I think you know what happened in the mortgage industry. It kind of like went in the toilet, and I couldn't make my 500, 400,000, 300,000, 200,000 money anymore. That was my antidepressant before I took medicine and stuff. It was money. So that was really big. The suicide attempt in January 2008. Those are the traumatic things that helped me, that hurt me back then. There's so many. I mean, for me, it's like, it's like I tell people now, it's like, it's okay to have, if you have a mental health challenge, it's okay to have an addiction. The key is, what are you doing to work on your recovery? Just like what Dr. Rob Kelly does, it's about you changing the thinking. Believe me, I've done my research with you. So I know the things that you were talking about, which I love and could also share, with my workshop. So, and I used to call myself bipolar. Like you said, people say, oh, so I'm bipolar. That was my diagnosis. So that's who I am. That's not who you are. So I call myself now bipolar no longer.
I can't stop it. I can't stop.
Polar, broke it in half, and I call myself bipolar. So you can call me Bip. Olar no longer. So I don't have this name. I'm not my diagnosis. And even if you have a diagnosis, or even if you have an addiction, even if you have a mental illness or mental health challenge or mental health injury, you still have strength inside of you, mind, in your body. And you're just as important as anyone else out there that is not suffering. And that's my goal, is to not get rid of the stigma, just smash it. You can see the pumping out the stigma, because this is a joke. In our society, it's still not there yet. It's not there yet.
Nowhere near. Nowhere near. I always say this, the mental illness, alcoholism, and drug addiction is where the gay community used to be 10, 12 years ago. We're just starting off, and we've got to get there, and we've got to change it. Guys, Michael's on the show. Stick around 2 seconds. Word from our sponsor. Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Recovery Channel podcast. My name's Dr. Rob Kelly, the Addiction Doctor, along with my co-host Jennifer Lovely. Michael Weitzman's on the show, such a funny guy. So we talked about the past a little bit. We talked about the suicide a little bit. Let's get into the good stuff. Where did it all change for you, Michael? Where did you come out and go, wow, this is it. I'm on the way to recovery?
It came out the last day in my 6th hospitalization stay on October 29th, 2014. While I was in there, I came up with the concept of bipolar and gum, and I came up with Match.com. I came up with my workshop, The Three Amigos, and while I was in there, I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stay mentally well. I got out and I just worked on all of my wellness tools. I worked on so many of them. Like I said before, deep breathing exercises, yoga, a to-do list, journaling. There's so many wellness tools. I tell people, I send them information, and that's what really got me to the promised land. And then it was basically the humor, because it's the humor part of it in Laughter and Smiles. That is what really got me to go even further. I always did comedy. I always did that, but I never did stand up. I mean, I've been sitting down for too long. But the point I'm trying to make is, that was a joke. Stand up, sit down. Okay. But anyway, but the point is, for comedy point of view, now I'm sending stuff. I'm doing stand up during the pandemic. And now the question is, it's not just using humor. Why? Why, Jennifer? Why, Dr. Rob Kelly? Why do you want to use humor in Laughter and Smiles in your life? And the reasons are very simple. It will boost your immune system. That's one. It's going to lift the endorphins. They lift your mood. It will alleviate stress. It dulls and kills the pain. It produces empathy. It's contagious. I mean, it's the way to success. There's so many reasons. And one of the biggest reasons why I recommend Laughter and Smiles and humor, because it will make you live a longer life. You know how I know that? I Googled it. I'm just kidding.
So the thing is, polarization is our inability to see ourselves and others. And what I hear is you are actually dispelling that. And so talk to me about, what do you notice? What happens to people when after they do a workshop with you, or after they spend time with you?
Well, I mean, I'm sure Dr. Kelly knows this as well. The most important thing, it's not just when people have watched my videos or people have heard me speak as a seminar when we were able to do it before the pandemic, and now even my webinars and stuff, and even I'm writing my book. I wrote a chapter from my friend's book. I'm finishing my book. When I get people, they say, Michael, I really can relate to what you're talking about. Michael, you really helped my daughter. Michael, you really helped me to think about it in a different way. I just want to be just like Dr. Rob Kelly's doing, is like another resource. I want to be a different type of resource, maybe a better resource, maybe different, but at least try something else. And that's what I try to do. And people, they love it, because what else? Come on, have fun with your condition, whatever's going on with you. We're not here to make fun. I mean, it's all about having fun with your mental health.
Yeah.
Not making fun, and that's why people come to me and say, "Wow, I love your videos," or "You really helped my daughter out," or "You help." I mean, that's the most. Why do you think I do what I do? Why do you think Dr. Rob Kelly does what he does? Yeah, we enjoy it. Yes, we might make some money, of course. But the key is, it's a very important thing that I say, and it's going to be in my book. It's how do you use your passion to give value and helping others? And mine is helping others regarding mental health, and it could be anything else. And I love using my passion, and one of my passions is humor, and it's used in a nice way. I came up with Match. You ever hear of Match.com?
Yep.
I have a new one out. It's called MatchMD.com. It's for people that have mental disorders. So on the normal site, I find a woman that has blonde hair and blue eyes and likes to dance. But on this other site, I find a woman that pees a lot, has mood swing problems, and anger management issues. You know what? I'm in love. Yeah.
I like that.
And we're going unsteady. Get it? Unsteady.
I love it. I like it.
What am I doing? I'm helping people to say that, you know what? Try some humor. Try some laughter and smiles in your life, especially now. And you know why now? Because this pandemic has done my favorite symptom. I wouldn't say favorite, but my symptom that I had is called isolation. Isolation is so big right now because of the pandemic, and it's going to get worse again because I just see it was spiking again. But the point is that what are you going to do? So I want to help people that are dealing with the pandemic. I'm helping out. I work at a psychiatric hospital. I call myself, I'm a professional mental health speaker, performer, advocate, and comedian. I'm a peer support specialist. I'm here to really educate and awareness and use my wellness tools, and especially the humor part.
And I think that we get more by doing that. You know, people often come up and say, how can you laugh, you know, about alcoholism? I say, well, you should see some of the recovered alcoholics that I know, me included. You know, it's not, you know, most people think it's a bad thing to have alcoholism. It's an affliction. Guys, I want to tell you something real interesting. It's a freaking superpower is what it is. Because once you get this stuff and turn it around like Michael and can come back at you, like I said before, with humor, but a real serious message in between. That's what we need more of. You know, I spent so many years crying in depression, in AA rooms, all that shit. It's like, enough already. You know, enough. If I come up to you, and the same as you, Michael, if somebody comes up to you and doesn't go away smiling, we've not done our job properly, you know, and that's what it is, a passion. It's not, I know guys in this for the money. They're not making any money. I'm in it for the passion. I'm making tons of money. You know, it's that's the way it is. I mean, stop focusing on the money. Start focusing what you can give back.
But the other thing, Dr. Rob Kelly, is the fact that I'm the proof of it, and so are you. You recovered from your addiction. I have recovered from my mental health. So if someone I want to help is suffering, we can relate to them. I mean, I'm nothing against therapists and psychiatrists and stuff, but a lot of them, they don't suffer with any type of mental illness. And I'm saying, if I have an addiction problem, I want to talk to you because you went through there.
Yeah, exactly.
And the same thing with me.
Yeah.
Relatability.
So we have 5 stages of, grief that we go through, right? And I believe that at any period of time in our life, there's one of us that are in that stages of grief, right? At any time, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's some sort of affliction that's happening or anything bad, but we're emotional beings. So then there's a 6th one that was created, and it's meaning. What is the meaning you made out of your BIP Oler no longer that allowed you to move forward?
What allowed me to move forward, I'll be honest with you, I put this out just recently. I think I sent it to you. I put together a creed, something as simple as like a creed that I would read ever since I got out of the hospital. And I would read a creed in my shower every time I took a shower. Don't base who you are by how much you make, how much you don't make. And I went into all these different things within the creed, and it became a reality. Simple as that. You might think, oh, wow, how can that happen? It becomes a reality. You keep saying these things, your creed or your prayer or whatever you want. And I've done that while I was working on the recovery. That's something to me. I'm a Jewish man that believes in Jesus. That's me. Doesn't mean you have to do that. It's just I go both ways. Well, with religion. There's nothing wrong with that either, you know.
That's another conversation, but go on.
But the point I'm making is that those are the things that got me. It said, you know, and also having for me support. God, if I didn't have my parents, I tell people you need support. You can do I call the people, you can do the triangle, the med, psychiatry, and the therapist. Okay, I did that. It didn't work. It's for 40 years. For 25 years after, it didn't work for 15 years. So what was it? It was these wellness tools that I kept using over. Deep breathing exercises. I would lay on my bed, watch the breathing. I never thought of doing yoga. What do I know about yoga and all this stuff? These are things that help me. I'm not saying it's going to help other people, but give it a chance. Try something else than just medicine. I'm not saying stop doing your medicine or stop seeing your psychiatrist and stop seeing your therapist. Use it. And then in some cases, I weaned off a lot of my medicine because I'm still little, but I don't have that much and I don't need a therapist. I am my own therapist. So you're asking me, these are the things I kept working on over and over again when I got out of the hospital. And it's just, to me right now, there's no pressure. And also, I recommend people to have a backup plan. I need a backup plan. When I was sick for 40 years and I was never getting well during the 40th year, I called one of my friends. I called my sister. I said, if I can't get well and I lose my kids and I have no money, can you take me? And they said, yes, you'll come and live with us. So I had a backup plan. I also recommend that as well in my wellness toolbox. So there's so many things that I try to get people to do. And I'm not saying I'm going to change the world. I just want to be another resource, or maybe do it from a different point of view, just like Dr. Kelly does, using the thinking part of it regarding regarding the people dealing with regarding addiction. So I'm just blessed. And also I want to get rid of the myths of mental illness and stuff like that. I go I touch people and said, oh, you're contagious, I just gave it to you. You can't get it from that, or fooling around with somebody. It doesn't, we don't know where it came from. It could be from I had no one in my family had it, so how did I get it? I don't know. It could have been, it could have been in my genes. It could have been, something, a situation that happened when I failed my road test when I was 16. There's so many different things. No one knows for sure. But if you have it, so what? It's okay. But you got to work on your recovery. And I go like this. You want to go from discovery to recovery. And now I went from recovery to discovery. Those are my words.
I like that. And the other thing is as well, is recovered. People say, oh, you can never say recovered because you might still have the illness. Listen, let me explain what recovered means in the Oxford English Dictionary. Recovered means to gain one's health and state of mind back. That's all it means. Cured and recovered are two different words. Stay in the solution, stay out the problem. Or as my old sponsor used to say, Rob, you're on the wrong side of the tracks. You don't live there anymore. Get on the right side and stay away. When I say thank you to somebody, when I compliment somebody, and when I laugh with somebody, dopamine is released into my brain. And that is what it's all about. Guys, we'll be back in 2 minutes after this. Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Recovery Channel podcast. My name is Dr. Rob Kelly, the addiction doctor. Don't mess with Dr. Rob Kelly. You don't know more than him, believe me. And Jennifer Lovely, my co-host, with Michael Weitzman, who's just absolutely hilarious. There's the back end of the show. So if you've got any questions, stick them in. We might just get them in for you. But yeah, it's an absolutely amazing story, an absolutely amazing comeback, and just a guy after my own heart, I don't know. I mean, there's not many people I can listen to and really get excited about because, hey, I know it all. And I don't mean to be a big head, but I've been in the game 27 years. I know everything there is. I'm the leading researcher of brain neural pathways and neuroplasticity. But when you meet a guy like you who comes at it with a different angle, same as me, it's just absolutely a pleasure to listen to. So great stuff, Michael. I'm so glad you're on with us.
And another thing, I'm sorry, I'll let you go.
Oh, no, that's okay. I just wanted to give Dr. Rob a hard time because it's actually my job. He knows everything, but I bet you he doesn't know this. Zimzum is a Hebrew word for allowing others to thrive. And so what I hear in both Dr. Rob Kelly and Jennifer Lovely and Michael Weitzman is that we are all creating space for others to thrive in their life. And so what I want to know is, how do you support when somebody comes to you? What are some of the first things that you do to allow them to thrive in their, whether it be disease or their mental illness or mental injury, however that is?
Well, whether it's people that come to me from the internet, from my email, or where I work at a psychiatric hospital, where I used to be a patient, but I'm now helping you. The key is I'm always asking them I try to do it based on what I've done. Like, what are you doing right now? Like, where Are you taking medicine? Are you seeing, obviously, if you're seeing a psychiatrist, you're taking medicine, or a nurse practitioner where you'll get your medicine, or a therapist. So whatever the triangle, med, psychiatry, is it working? Is it working? And then I'm always asking them, are you willing to try other things, other types of wellness tools? And then before I get into that, I want to ask them, like, what is your support? Do you go to a support group? Do you have support? Do your family, your parents, cousin, a person you work for, church, from the church, anything? What do you have for support? Because I'm telling you, I don't care who you are, it's very, very difficult doing this alone. Whether it's an addiction, whether it's mental illness or mental health, you gotta have support, and you really need support. And then after I get into that, I go, well, why don't you try some other types of wellness tools? Why don't you read like a Wayne Dyer? Because his books, his great line is, I'm not better than you. I'm just better than I used to be. Think about what I just said. I don't need and someone else. I need to just be better to myself as a person, in my mental health, in my physical health. So I'm always asking so many people, let's try to use some of these other wellness tools that I recommend. And then I get into a course about using humor and laughter and smiles. I recommend them. You've got to watch Patch Adams. You've got to watch Good Will Hunting. You've got to watch Silver Lining Playbook. These are the movies that will move you, that will inspire you. The movie Pay It Forward, you might have heard the concept of paying forward, not paying back. It's a great movie. These are the things that inspire me and motivate me, where I think it will happen to them. I did a Goldcast video. I don't know if you've ever heard of Goldcast. I can't believe it. In Canada, they are huge. They have these videos like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes long with famous people, or even someone like myself. Believe me, I still feel I'm pretty famous, even though I'm, whatever, celebrity. The point is, I did this Goldcast video, and they made me the star. It's only 6 minutes long, but it's like I got everyone contacting me from all over the world, helping them. I'm sending them the wellness tools. I'm sending them movies and books that they should recommend. There's a book called The Four Agreements. It's a fantastic book.
Beautiful book. Beautiful.
Miguel Ruiz. I mean, don't take things personally. I mean, that is one of the most important things we can't do, that I try very hard at, and if I have a problem. So these are things I tell my clients or friends or everything. But I tell you this right off the bat. This is very important. It's not about me as much as, even though I got better, I tell it like, I might be confident right now, and I might be getting pretty successful right now, but that doesn't make me better than anybody. And I don't like ego, okay? And you do know what the word ego stands for. From Wayne Dyer, it means you're edging God out. Ego. And I do not have an ego. I am just have all this have humbleness, humility, so I can tell people, and I'm just like you. I'm just that I want to help you with your mental health, and I want to show you that I was able to do it, and so can you.
And it's important as well that we look at ego, because as far as I'm concerned, here's the way I look at it. There were so many times in my life when I had nothing, when I lived under the bridge, when I had no confidence at all. I've spent the last 20, 30 years trying to build my confidence. So confidence for me is knowing I can do something, I want to share it with you. Ego is me wanting you to know I can do something, I want to share it with you. So confidence is an amazing tool. And it's all about, hey, we've been there. Let me show you a way out, because that's what it is. If I'm going to stop in a foreign country and asking directions, ask one guy and he goes, well, I've never been there, but I kind of think if you go, no, I'll stop at the next guy. He goes, oh, yeah, I used to live there. Let me tell you exactly how to get there. That's what it's about. Guys, Michael Weitzman was on the show. We're running out of time fastly. I have a sound test in about 3 minutes for live TV at my top of the hour, which I love, absolutely. But first of all, I want to say a couple of things. I want to say what an amazing guy, first of all, and what an amazing talent you have. And secondly, I want to recognize you today, which is this. I got this off Jennifer, by the way. I didn't come up with it, but I want to recognize you today for a couple of things. You are a celebrity. Don't put yourself down. You are up there with the best of them. I'm sure if Robin was around today, me and you and him could be sitting around somewhere. He's such a great guy. But most of all, I want to thank you for what you do, because we don't know how powerful we are unless somebody sits back and tells you. You have affected, and I want to say hundreds of thousands of people, but I'm going to say millions, because you know how, everyone talks and talks and talks and talks and passes it on. So when your name come forward, I knew the name already, and I had to put it in, and that's where I know it from. That's where I know it from. So you're out there. So thank you so much for what you do. You're an absolute superstar, and you're probably one of the best guests that I've ever spoke to. And I'll leave it to Jen to ask either one more question or one more ending. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just really want to say that, thanks for not keeping quiet when you could have. Thank you for having that deep knowing inside of you to say something when you knew you needed to say something. And I just really honor that inside of you, Michael. And it's been an absolute pleasure and fun to have you on the show and share your triumphs, and also, your wins and your losses, and your love for. Yes. Thank you.
There you go. Okay, Mike. Listen, guys, Michael's email's at the bottom of the screen, scrolling across. Send him an email, tell him thanks, ask a question, or see where he's booked next after the COVID flies away. But until now, guys, say thank you to Michael, and we'll be back straight after this.
Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome to the back end of the show. If you haven't been with us or just joined us, where were you? And you missed Michael Weitzman. Absolutely an amazing guy. Love that guy. There's some guests we have on, and I look at the clock and go, oh my God, it's that time already. We've not even started yet. And that was one of those days, unfortunately. Damn.
I know. It's my favorite thing to do is have conversations with people, be with other humans, hear their stories, hear their triumphs, their losses, their failures, whatever you want to call it, but just being with them and being witness with their life. It makes me feel like I was a part of it, and it feels good.
Yeah, there's a line in the big book that I always quote to people when they walk around miserable. It's like they at the back and they go, no, well, I've got 50 years sobriety. No, you're a miserable piece of shit. You've never helped anybody in your freaking life. You sat there and brag about your 50 years. You're probably not a freaking alcoholic. You heavy drinker. Shut the up, will you? Because he says in the book, and I quote, why shouldn't we laugh? We have recovered.
Right.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. Guys, you know what the deal is. We're here every other day, Recovery Channel podcast. You can find us live on Facebook and YouTube. You can also search it. If you know a platform that does podcasts, we're on there. So don't forget to follow us. We're taking this to the highest level. So here's my quote from 2020. By July 2021, this will be a national syndicated show. So you need to get in here, because we're either going to freaking do it or we're not. I'm like Michael before, and you, Jen. I'm either all in or I'm all out. There's no half measures for me. I've never played basketball because I've never played basketball. I know I'm going to be crap at it, so I'm not going to pick it up. I want something that I'm going to crush, absolutely, and have the confidence. I recover out loud, and Michael recovers out loud, and Jennifer, you recover out loud. So other people can recover in peace, should they want to. I'm not anonymous. I guard everyone else's anonymity, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm the guy with the big mouth. Or as you say in England, I'm the guy with the big gob. I'm the gobby bastard.
Yes.
And I'm going to shout out loud. And I love Jennifer. I love Michael. I love this show. It's absolutely phenomenal. So stay tuned, guys. Don't forget, keep watching us. Keep sending messages. Keep watching us. And for me, guys, I'm going to say thank you for watching the show, and I'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.